What's up, family? Day 410 of trading, day 410. Um, Today's gain $1,606.90. Total assets $11,597.64. Options account, obviously on the strength of Beyond. Beyond gives us those swings. This options account up $1,640. Once again, options account up $1,640. Shares account down $33.10. Let's take a look at the options. Our trade desk $90 strike price with a 2028 expiration gave back 35 bucks. $100 strike price 2027 expiration gave back 45. $80 strike price with a 2027 expiration gave back 200 bucks today. And Beyond gave us that 1,920 bucks. I always take that with a grain of salt because tomorrow Beyond might be down 1,000. Just one of those stocks that are just low float, so they just swing high, swing high. Would love for it to have about 4 or 5 days in a row of highs, right? But like I said, take it with a grain of salt. I'm more worried about the trade desks positions because those I could kind of keep better track of, and then have my targets that I know should hit. It's just a matter when it's going to hit. Shares account. UNHG gave back 70 bucks today, and TSLL gave us $36.90 on the day. Take a look at the charts. Would love it if Tesla, you know, did give us the little 18 cents on my TSLL. Looks like it wants to start curling up. It did gap up earlier today, and then settled down at that 385.95. Basically what it did is it hit that 200 EMA on the daily, and hit that resistance and bounce down. So maybe it'll stay between the 10 EMA and that 20 and 200 EMA, kind of bounce around there for a couple of days, and then break through and get a nice little curl up. Look at the MACD. The MACD is curling up. The RSI, definitely hit the support and is pushing up. So we are definitely looking bullish on that in that way. But we still are bearish, being that the 10 EMA is below the 20 EMA. But definitely looking for that curl up. You see the 10 EMA is starting to curl up just a little bit. So we're looking for that golden cross and a couple of pushes. All right. Take a look at UNH as our other shares position. UNH is still bearish on the daily. Take a look at the hour chart real quick. Starting to get a little bit bullish on the hour chart. See that the 10 EMA is starting to curl up. But basically what's going on here, take it back to the 4 hour. We see some consolidation right here, staying within this price range, that 294 to 270 range, just bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Most likely going to start, working its way back up. We did get a bearish engulfing candle here. So should push down. Where might it push down to? 266 for sure. Maybe it's going to try to close a couple of gaps on the lower end if it breaks out of this box. If not, maybe we get like a little fake out or a little wick down, and then it starts pushing back up to start attacking these gaps. And my target's up at 350, and ultimately at like 5 and change. So that's what we're looking at with that. Beyond. So Beyond ended up not even up a penny. But you see, just that 0.0090 gave us $1,600 today. Just that little tiny move. So imagine when it pops and really does what it's supposed to do. I have my strike price at 7. Again, I have it leaped out till next December 2027. So plenty of time for it to make its move, the move that I wanted to make. If it does that, I mean, you see that just a little move has it as 103%, profit right now. Imagine if it got to where it needed to go. We're talking about maybe like 5,000, 8,000, 10,000% profit. And that's what we play this game for. That's why we get our leaps to try to, take advantage of the big moves. I will probably look to buy some shares if I can of that. I got 30 contracts already of Beyond. Maybe I'll try to get 20 more contracts as it's still cheap. But hmm, hmm, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens because there really is no reason why this is up 103%. Price paid was 38 cents. Last price was 19 cents. We do have a ton of extrinsic value. So that's the thing about options. If you have plenty of time, it does factor that in. So that's why it's giving me my profit. But like that's why it bounces up and down the way it does, has those huge swings. But we'll see. Like I said, we got plenty of time. Expiration is December 17th, 2027, with a $7 strike price. Of course, I'm expecting it to go into the hundreds. So if it does do that for whatever reason and decides to get up and hit some of these upper targets, the 19s and the 22s and the 44s and higher closing gaps up in the hundreds, then like I said, huge wins. So, keep you posted on that. Like I said, plenty of time. Other than that, man, I'm just in those positions. So just the TTD beyond UNH, G and TSLL. And that's what we're playing until our targets hit. And after those targets hit, then we'll figure out what we're going to do next. All right. So once again, today's gain $1,606.90. Total assets up to $11,597.64. Keep you posted, let you know what happens tomorrow. All right. One love.